Buckle up, I'm about to knock your socks off. So on today's episode of The Real Estate Agent is Not Lying, you're going to learn how to take this, your single family home, use the money from that, and you're also going to learn how to turn it into a commercial property by purchasing multiple units or purchase you an apartment complex. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. You're probably thinking I'm going to tell you to do a cash out refinance, right? Wrong. I'm not. By the way, I'm Latasha McDowell, your lifestyle and real estate expert, host of American Dream TV's Selling Tallahassee. So there's actually three other ways that you can tap into your home's equity without doing refinancing. One is an equity investment. Two is a home equity loan. And three, which is a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. So let me explain each one of them to you in case you're a little confused. So the home equity investment, let's talk about that. The minimum credit score for this is about a 500. The home equity is also known as home equity sharing agreement, right? So this allows you to tap into that extra equity that you have in your home and borrow against it with an investor. Usually you'll have some type of service fees, about 3 to 5%. And usually, let's say for example, if your home is worth $500,000, you can take out $400,000 less the amount that's owed on the home to borrow against it. So that's one way that you can take equity out of your home. Have a home equity loan. A home equity loan, you can use that as well to take out large sums of money out of your equity at the home that you currently have, your primary residence. Or if it's not your primary residence, this also works for a second residence as well. It's a second mortgage. It has a fixed interest rate. It can be paid back over 5 to 30 years. It's more like a traditional mortgage. So if you were to sell your home, it will come with things like closing costs. You'd have to pay it off as well as your first mortgage, which may be an FHA loan or what have you. But this is also an option as well. This is usually for people who have fair to decent credit. I would say like a 660, somewhere in there. So this is another option that you have to take out a large sum of money for the equity that you have in your home. And there's a tried and true home equity line of credit where you take the equity in your home and you turn it into a credit card. You can withdraw money as much as you need over an extended period. Usually you make an interest only payment during the withdrawal period of about 10 to 15 years. And then you start making large monthly payments after that to pay off the home equity line of credit. It usually has a variable interest rate, meaning your rate can rise over time. So HELOCs are usually reserved for people who have a higher credit score, our 700 people or upper 6+ people, 680, 660, somewhere in there, those types of persons. HELOCs are a smart option if you're unsure about how much money you're going to need. Remember, with the investment as well as the home loan, the equity home loan, you're taking out a large sum. So you don't want to bite off more than what you can chew. So a home equity line of credit is, like, in my personal opinion, a number one option when you're thinking about other ways to take money out of your home to utilize it towards investment property. Now let's learn how we're going to do that. Taking the money out of our primary residence, we have three different options other than refinancing, which we know the rates are higher. So now we can take that money and put it down on a commercial loan, which would be about 20%, and you would get something like this. So honestly, yes, you can just go ahead, take out 5% and put it towards a multiple unit up to 4 units. But why do it small? You gotta think big. Go big or go home. Why purchase 4 units when you can have upwards of 28, 100 or more, right? So you're taking the equity out of your home and you're going to put down a large sum of money. I know Fannie Mae changed it where you only have to put down 5% for 4 units, but really, how much money is 4 units going to really generate for you? Wouldn't it be better to make more money? Yeah. So this is a perfect opportunity to use the BRRRR method, but on a larger scale, right? So if I'm going to take the money out of my home, why would I buy a single family home? No, I wouldn't. I would take the money out of my home and I would purchase a multiple unit, 5 units or more, something that I can rehab. And I promise you, they're out there. Just look. Then I would rent out the multiple units, allow that to gain some equity, refinance that, and then go out and buy another multiple units. That's how you collect doors. That's how you continually repeat the process. And that's how you get generational wealth. You're not going to build wealth by getting one home at a time. You can look up any investor. When they're working on their portfolio, they may start off small. They don't stay small. They grow. They use the same methods that was successful on the smaller scale and move it to a much larger scale. Yeah, I know this was a Days of Our Lives long video. However, now you know how to take the equity out of your single family residence and make it into multiple units, 5 units or more. You can either do it on a small scale